Are you looking for ways to grow your business without killing yourself here online trying to do all the things? If so, then you're going to want to stick around for today's episode as we have a very special guest, Bonnie Frank, who is going to be here and share some tips with us. And she's also the host of Business Fabulous Podcast. So stick around.
Can't say I never tried to warn you, and I'm just trying to tell you.
Hello and welcome to the Live Advantage Show. I'm your host, Ed Troxel from edtroxel.com, where I make video marketing simple. And today we are going to have a special guest join us here shortly. But before we do, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, which is the Live Advantage program. That program is all about teaching professionals how to use video, more specifically live streaming, to market their business online easily. And you can learn more about the Live Advantage program at theliveadvantage.com. The information's in the show notes. You'll be able to learn how you can create your own show to start getting more brand awareness online and be able to open up more opportunities to book your calendar up, as well as close more deals. So head over later, not now, to theliveadvantage.com to learn more. Now, let's welcome our guest to the show. Hello, Bonnie.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. Go ahead and share with everyone a little bit about who you are, and then we'll dive into today's topic.
Sure. I'm Bonnie Frank. I'm a business coach and consultant. I've done this for about 7 years. And prior to that, I was a teacher and college professor. So my degrees happen to be in education. I'm completely self-taught in business.
I love that. And that you have such a unique story. So let's talk about that for a second before we dive into the content. Is how did you come about starting your business, and around what time frame did you start your business in terms of years for you?
Okay, so 7 years ago, so I had taught for 20 years. 7 years ago, I started my business when I was 49 years old. I started from scratch. I had no business experience. I've never had a business class. I had no startup funds. I didn't even have a desk at home, and I started. And I started on July 3rd of 2014. And I started on Periscope, which is Twitter Live. Periscope has fallen by the wayside as of March 31st, but it's Twitter Live and basically always has been. And so I went live on Periscope on July 3rd of that year. And within 6 days, I started landing coaching clients, paid coaching clients, where I tried more traditional methods prior to that for 14 months and couldn't get any business. So that's how I built my business.
I love hearing that. And I hope that everyone tuning in is paying attention to that Bonnie tried traditional and then started to try something new and realized what was working. And you said a key word there. You started.
Mhm.
You just started it. You didn't let all of the things that you didn't have under your belt stop you from starting. Was there anything specific that really was pushing you to do your own business, or was it just, hey, why not try it?
Well, the day before, I had quit teaching. So I had been a full-time teacher, and there's something in the United States called Common Core, which is a great idea, but at least in Missouri, in practice, I find to be an abomination. I just think it's horrible, and the people who suffer the most are the students. And at first, I was just bothered by it, and then I thought, this is really, really bad for kids, and it's not in the best interest of my students. And I did not want my name attached to it in any way, so I quit. And the next day I opened my business.
Wow, that is crazy. And you jumped straight into coaching. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
And was that because you were so tied in with teaching and that just became the natural for you? Or was there somebody or something that was like sticking out to you that encouraged you to just jump into the coaching part?
Well, at first I thought that I was just going to make courses because, teacher, I could make courses in my sleep. That
Yeah.
was really easy. But the first two courses I created, I didn't create for anyone in particular. So that's who bought them. Nobody. And so then I thought, okay, I really need some help. I didn't know what target audience was. I didn't have any business or marketing classes or lessons or training or anything. So I had to learn it all. And so in the process of that, I thought, maybe, people are talking about I need a coach, I should get a coach. So I interviewed 25 different coaches. Now, they didn't know I was interviewing them. Nobody vets like that, by the way. For those of you listening, just don't even worry. Nobody does that. That's insane. But I did. And so I basically I had 25 different coaches give me free coaching. So coaches will from time to time give an hour of free coaching. And I had 25 different women give me an hour. And I thought, well, I'll use these free hours to help me. I needed I needed free coaching. I had no money to invest in my business. All of the money that I'd made from teaching had been already earmarked for the family. So I literally was starting from scratch, no social media followers, no nothing. And so I thought I'll use this information to help me. And then maybe, hopefully, ideally, I'll click with one of these people. And then when I do have the money to hire them, when I make some more money, then I will hire them in the future. Unfortunately, I disliked heavily, let me put it that way, all of them. I hated all of them. They were horrible. And I thought, wow, you people are awful. And I couldn't make them stop. But so the only thing I could do was provide an alternative. And that's why I started coaching.
Well, that is so powerful because there, especially with the internet, of course, we know in every industry, there's just a lot of things out there and a lot of
Mhm.
people out there. And that is what can be a great motivator for us, for you listening, to jump in and just start and be that person that is going to help others and be able to be of service to so many other people when it comes to helping them because it's hard. We, like you said, quote interviewed these people, and you were fresh out of the gate, and you're jumping in and checking all the people out, and realizing quickly, thankfully, that they were not a good fit, and that clicked for you that you needed to start. You needed to show up. You needed to deliver what you had to offer the world and then see who's going to engage with that and be able to grow from there, which is huge. And when you started the coaching part, so you started going live. Was live because Periscope was the place where we all started? Is Was that something that you had to overcome being in front of the camera, or was it just one of those things like, hey, it's just a tool I'm going to use. Let's just do it.
Well, I had tried a whole bunch of other things for 14 months. So I thought, well, it can't hurt. I
Yeah.
can't get any worse. I wasn't making any money. And from that and at the same time, and you can find all of this on the internet, but at the same time, my husband at the time was coming to me about every 2 weeks with yet another thing that I should be doing instead of what I was doing, because that thing, whatever crazy thing he had come up with, would of course make me money where I wasn't making any money. So I had that pressure. It was a very abusive relationship, and I was also raising my two boys all at the same time. And so if trust me, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So that's why I'm like, nope, no excuses. No, you cannot give me an excuse that is big enough that will stop you from having a successful business. From being a teacher, I was used to people watching me, and I, had embarrassed myself at least once in front of, a classroom full of people, whether students or adults, because I taught university for 6 years also. And so I didn't worry about that. And I just thought it's a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. If you don't try, then you've already failed. So you know what the outcome is if you don't try. But if you do try, then there's unlimited possibilities. That's sort of the way I think about it. So I tried, and literally 6 days later I started making money where I was not making money for 14 months before that.
That's amazing. And that's the power of live streaming and being able to just start and to see what
Mhm.
happens and be open to testing new things. That was a key thing too that you had mentioned. Again, traditional versus let's just try it and see what happens and being open to that. So now that we know a little bit more about you, let's talk about what you see with your clients and kind of how people can start to take the next step to growing their business online, because there's so many things that they want to do or are doing and should be doing and maybe aren't doing. Like where should we start?
So, even though I built my entire business on the back of Periscope, on live streaming, even though I did that, I have always said live streaming's not for everybody. I don't think anything is for everybody. Yes, I have a podcast, but I did not immediately have a podcast. I listened to thousands of podcasts for 6 years before ever having a podcast. So and yes, I make money on Clubhouse, but I didn't hop on Clubhouse because it was the newest, hottest thing. I hopped on Clubhouse very strategically because I knew my audience was there, and I knew I could monetize it quickly because I already monetized Periscope in 6 days. It was, as far as I was concerned, a very similar type of situation where I could monetize that easily too. So I definitely want to say that even though I do these things, I have always said there's nothing that everybody must do. There is nothing that is for everybody. But the only thing that has changed over time is that being online is no longer an option. It is no longer an option to have an online presence. And that doesn't just mean I have a Twitter account. That means no, you got to do something with it. So I would say, pick one or two accounts and really make an impact there, make a splash there, and then build from there. Don't go into 17 places at once. No one needs to be in all the places because your audience is not in all the places.
Yes. And so you bring up Clubhouse. That's a popular one. And I love how you mentioned it wasn't just because it was the shiny new object, which many think of the Clubhouse as that, especially when it first came out. It was like, another platform that I have to sign up for and figure out and do all the things. So what advice would you give to people who are in that boat? Because Clubhouse is definitely beneficial, and we just mentioned that as well. And it's one of those things that I don't want people to miss out, whether it's Clubhouse or whatever the next thing is. Just knowing that there's that option when it comes to testing something new, but being strategic about it. How did you go about that strategic part?
So the biggest thing that everybody needs to know when they have a business, and it does not matter if their business is a brick and mortar business, if their business is strictly online, if they're doing an MLM, direct sales, network marketing, does not, if they have a product based business, it doesn't matter. Business is business is business. Whatever your business is, you have to know your target audience. And you literally, this is the key to business. Everyone, get your pens out. Here's the key to business: know your audience, give them what they want. That's it. There's the secret. Know your audience and give them what they want. Now, to give them what they want online, you have to be where they are already, what we say, living online. So you go to them. Don't pull them to you. That's a waste of time. You go where they already are. So you've got to know your audience well enough to know where they are already living online. So I have a Snapchat account that I haven't used for years, and Snapchat was my favorite of all the social media platforms I've ever been on, and I've been on, I don't know, 25, I think. It was my favorite, but I had to leave it because not enough of my audience was there. It wasn't worth my time. It literally, by definition, was not worth my time. So I wasn't able to monetize it fast enough. So as far as I was concerned, it was not worth my time to be there, as fun as it was. And I made great relationships there. Um, and so I spend the majority of my time where the most of my money comes from. So you have to know your audience, you have to know where they are, and you have to pay attention to your analytics, your metrics to know exactly where they are, who they are, what's working there. You want to do more of that. What's not working there, do less of that. And then use your Google Analytics to see who's coming to your website. And you'll see where they're coming from. So you will know if they're coming from LinkedIn, you need to be spending time on LinkedIn. If they're never coming from LinkedIn, then whatever you're doing on LinkedIn is not working.
That is powerful. And I love the fact that you bring up that you loved a platform, in this case, Snapchat. However, you had to move away from that because that's not where your people are. And I find that is something that typically comes up with the whole Instagram versus Facebook or LinkedIn. People like using Instagram because it's a little more user friendly for them, but is their specific audience there? Are they actually there to connect with businesses and things? So it's very timely that you mentioned that part because it's really important, like you said, for us to know our audience and to know where they are, which may not be the exact place that we like to hang out, and we have to go meet them, not bring them over to that.
Well, and like for example, I cannot even tell you countless, literally countless friends of mine have said, Bonnie, you have got to get on TikTok. What are you waiting for? Get there. I'm telling you, your people are there. It's not that I don't think my people are there. I think not enough of my people are there. I
Mm.
know my audience is there. I am fully aware that the demographic of TikTok is ever evolving and the age is continuing to rise. I know that. However, I also know how long it would take me to edit the TikTok videos in such a way that I would want them
Yeah.
to for the level that I would want them for my audience. For that little 15-second thing, it would take me a long time and a lot of takes, and it's not worth my time to go through all of that for the amount of time that it would take me to monetize the platform.
Yeah.
So I have an account, but I literally never go on TikTok. If I see anybody's TikTok, it's because somebody sent it to me or it comes through my Instagram feed. It's the only
Yep.
time I see anything on TikTok. And it's not that I don't enjoy it, I do. But I also know the rabbit hole that it can be, as any social media platform can all
Yep.
be a rabbit hole. I'm not willing to invest that much time into it. And so I'm not on it.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point there, the managing the time and diving into social media. Any tips for people around how maybe you structure your time to get in there? And then I want to ask you about the monetization part after that.
Sure. So every one of my days is different. And since COVID, thanks COVID, it will end at some point. I've said that now for 13 and a half months, but let's hope it does. So because, it can get a little boring sometimes during COVID because you don't have that many things that you can really go and do. Everyone's life has changed a great deal. So I work a little bit every day. A little bit, a couple hours every day is what I usually do. That's what I've been doing. And because otherwise, my Saturdays and Sundays have gotten to be a little sad and boring. And so I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to work a little bit every day. So that's what I have been doing. Um, Now, having said that, I every single day is different and I work for myself, and so whatever money I make, that is my money. So I have passive income and I have active income, but I don't have any money. People are like, "Oh, but of course you have alimony and all of this." No. That's called hiding the money. Anyway, so no, I didn't have any of that. So when I tell you that I started from scratch, I literally started from scratch and I did it twice. The first time is the one that I talked about. The second time is during my divorce. I used literally every penny I had to get my son to college. And then I had to build my business again. So I knew I could do it because I did it once. So if you can do something once, you can do it again.
Yeah.
So here you go. So, and yes, I've done that. And then some, many times over. So it's all good. And so in terms of spending time and how you arrange your time, I'm not good at time blocking. In fact, I'm horrible at time blocking. Now, some people swear by it, and I want everyone who hears this to do whatever works for them, because
Yeah.
there's a million different ways that you can schedule your time. Time blocking has never worked for me, not with teaching, not with business. It just hasn't. Trust me, I've tried it lots of times. So for me, I mean, here's my schedule for today. It's just written on a journal, a 5x7 journal that I bought at CVS. And I
Nice.
just put a square and I put what I have to do, whoop, and I check it off when I do it. That's it. That's how I do it. I have my online calendar. If something does not appear on my Apple Calendar, it does not exist in the world.
Yep.
So that is very important to me, but I haven't been able to go totally digital. So for me, that doesn't work. For some people, it really works. Also during COVID, it has been really, really important for me to get a lot of fresh air. So sometimes I will work on my balcony. So if I work a few hours in that day, I might work all of them outside on my balcony in the fresh air and sunshine. Or I might literally just spend 2 hours on my balcony, not working, purposely not working, just being still, enjoying the fresh air, enjoying the sunshine, getting vitamin D, and just doing whatever, listening to other podcasts, listening to Ed, for example, whatever it might be the day I'm doing. So that, having time for myself, and I think that all of that is self-care, that has been super, super important, even more important now during the pandemic than ever. And so my daily schedule probably looks very odd to some people. Like, why would it be that it would be 8 PM and I would choose to be working at 8 PM? Well, because I took a 4-hour break in the middle of the day and I had a couple things to get done.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like what's the difference? Right? It doesn't matter during the pandemic. So, but ordinarily, I work more typically 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, but it's not 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. It's less than that. But
Right.
non-pandemic more typically during that time.
Yeah. And it's so important to have what I call office hours. So that would be our office hours, and to know that that's what you need. You have your list that needs to get done within that certain amount of time,
Mhm.
and keep to that as much as possible. And you mentioned the monetization.
Mhm.
When people hear that, they're thinking probably, okay, I want to do that. Like that, I need to monetize being on social.
Yeah.
What's something that they should be thinking about, because they might be posting, but they're not making money directly from that post. And so then they're thinking, oh, this is not worth it. It's pointless. Like, why am I even
Mhm.
here? And then they start to squirrel. So any tips around that?
Yeah. So monetization just means making money. And you can monetize your time anywhere doing anything. Truly. I mean, look at some things that have gone.
I think I lost your audio.
Okay.
There. Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea why that happened. So yeah, so monetization just means making money, and you can literally make money doing anything at any time. And I think of monetization as two different ways, as passive and active income. So I have passive income where I'm an affiliate for some things, and I have membership sites. And so those are things that I've built on one end of my business, and the money keeps coming in every month. And then I have active income, things that I'm currently creating and I'm currently working on where the money's coming in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So it may not be one tweet, right? It might not be that one tweet that makes me money, or it might be one tweet that makes me money. Because if my tweet takes them directly to something where they can sign up and pay me, that makes me money. Sometimes a tweet is simply a tweet and it was never intended to make me money. Or sometimes, in fact, I would say 80% of the time, most of the posts that I put out there are I post very strategically so that the ultimate goal is getting them to, if nothing else, my list. But the vast majority of people who are on my email list do end up buying from me at least once and usually many more times.
Yes. And you brought up the important part, which is email list. For anyone listening, you want to make sure you have an email list, not just your social accounts. Get that email list because it's very, very important to have.
Right. And it's important, and and I didn't understand. I really did not understand why I should get people on my list when I first started my business. I did it because people told me to do it, and then I had these people on my list and I never emailed them. I didn't know what to do. And then they were like, "No, Bonnie, you have to send them emails." So I'm like, "Okay, well then I'll send them an email and I'll tell them everything I have for sale," which is the worst way to get anyone to buy from you. So I did everything wrong. Don't do that. So what you should do instead is, yes, get people to come on your list, but then give them a reason to be on your list and a reason to stay on your list. So reach out to them at least once a week and provide more value and nurture that relationship and give them, like I said before, give them what they want. So you have to know them well enough to know what they want and then simply give it to them every single time, every email, every tweet, every live stream, every podcast episode, every Clubhouse room.
Yes. And we're getting close on time, but I wanted to ask you also for those who are listening that are either just starting or maybe they just haven't found their direct audience yet. Any tips around how they should go about really finding their people online?
Well, I have some information on that. I have some exercises and videos and other things in my social media marketing cafe, which you can find from my website. But another thing is to go to your metrics and look at what is working. Most people don't even use their metrics, and they're free. Let's say you're on Instagram, then go to your Instagram metrics, go to your analytics. They're called insights. Look at the posts that have gotten you engagement. What types of posts were they? And look at who, literally, it takes a little bit of time, look at who's engaging. So, what demographic are most of your people on that particular platform? Who's engaging? Do they fit into that demographic? Those people are your audience on that platform. Does not mean those people are your audience everywhere. It means those people are your audience on that platform. So when I work with clients one-on-one and in my group programs, we always start with ideal client avatar because that person determines your target audience. You can't possibly know exactly who your target audience is without knowing your ICA. So that's the first thing I work with people on in all of my one-on-one coaching and my group programs.
I love that. I love that. And you, who encouraged you? I know that was one question I wanted to. Who
No
encouraged
one,
you?
literally no one. I mean, that's not an exaggeration. I do mean no one. Not my family, not my friends. Everyone told me I would fail. Literally, they used that four-letter word. It was wonderful. Everyone told me I would fail. Then my husband at the time was also coming to me about every 2 weeks with some other crazy thing that he thought I should do. And he would, oh my gosh, he would interrupt what I was doing. He would have fake crises that I had to stop my work so I could go attend to whatever thing that he had created to get me away from my work. Everyone under the sun, everyone I knew told me I should go back to teaching. Bonnie, that's what you do. You're a teacher. And I thought, why? Who says you can only do one thing well? I never got that memo that we're only allowed to do one thing well. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I love teaching, but teaching changed, education changed. I had done both public and private. It changed. I no longer thought it was in the best interest of my students. I didn't want to be part of it. So now I'm going to do this other thing. Doesn't mean I have to go back to doing what I was doing. So I literally switched careers with no training, with no anything at 49.
Wow, I love that. That is so cool. And before we wrap up here, you also have a Clubhouse guide, I hear.
Yeah, so whether or not you're on Clubhouse, and it's opening up now to Android, so it will open up to the rest of the world. We're recording this the beginning of May 4th. May the 4th be with you. We're
Yeah.
recording this the beginning of May, and so it will open up to the rest of the world via Android very, very soon. Some people are already on it on Android. But whether or not you're on Clubhouse, you can literally use this guide for any social media platform. So it's how to strategically spend your time before, during, and after you're on any platform. This just happens to be Clubhouse. So you can go to bit.ly, so bit.ly/Clubhouse strategy. All lowercase, just like it sounds, bit.ly/Clubhouse strategy. And those are the 10 things that I have used to strategically make a big impact on Clubhouse, so much so that I monetize the app in 5 days.
Ooh, love that. And it's great that that can be applied to other platforms, as you mentioned. So for those watching the live, it's in the comments, and I will put it in the show notes as well so that you have the link for that. Bonnie, it's been such a pleasure. Anything else that you wanted to share before I let you go here?
Just, whatever it is, fill in the blank, do it. Whatever it is, do it. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work out. Okay, big deal. So then you go do something else. But then at least you know you tried, right? So if you never try, you have no idea. That might be the thing that really works, or it might be so incredibly enjoyable that you're going to make that thing work and you're going to monetize that thing because you love it so much. But you're not going to know if you don't try. And there's no better time to try than today.
And on that, we will see you all later. Take care, everyone.